Hi everyone, welcome back to learn-automation.com. This is Mukesh. So this is my first video of 2017 and today we will be talking about TestNG tutorials. So I have created some of the videos long back but in different parts. But today I will start with a starting guide, how to start with TestNG and we'll see some of the basics today. So let's get started with high level agenda. So in this video, we will be talking about what is TestNG framework, what is the advantage of TestNG framework, how to install TestNG if you are using Eclipse, and how to create your first script using TestNG, how you can create your multiple test cases using TestNG, and we will also see auto-generated XML file. So once you run your first test case, you will get one automated or auto-generated XML. So we'll see how to read this, and we'll also see the default report which is generated by TestNG. TestNG, it's very good tool, or I will not say tool, it's a framework. So you can take so many advantage of this framework. So in this video, I will be talking about very less number of features, but once you move forward, we'll talk about almost all the features which they have given so far. So if you talk about what is TestNG, and yes, the last one we will be adding some more details to the test cases. So TestNG is just a framework, and if you talk about the full form, TestNG stands for Testing Next Generation. So it's a unit testing framework. So developer used previously JUnit. So JUnit is mainly for unit testing, which mostly used by the developers. But TestNG is again a you can say additional framework which is inspired from JUnit. So all the features which you have in JUnit you will find in the TestNG as well. So how to use it and what is the reason of using it, you will get to know in few minutes. So TestNG have multiple classes, interfaces, methods, which will make our task easy. So soon you will get to know we need to write so much of code to generate reports and to perform sequencing. But TestNG have this default features. You can take advantage of the inbuilt methods. So we will be using a couple of them today. TestNG provides so many additional functionality so that you can create your robust framework itself. So if you start writing your own code from scratch, it will take hell lot of time. So better to use someone else framework which is already developed, and it's quite stable as well. There are some open issues with TestNG, but that is ignorable. You can ignore all that because you'll not get effect in your test execution. Okay, so what are the advantage you will get once you start working with TestNG? So I have taken all this advantage from their official website, but I have customized a little bit based on my experience. So you will get the default reporting. You don't have to write a single line of code to generate reports. You can directly refresh your project and you will see different kind of reports that is auto generated. Different kind of annotations. If you want to control the test execution, then you have multiple annotations which I will show you in few videos and in this video as well. So you can control the complete execution, how you want to run the test, and so on. So what is annotation, I will show you. So as of now, annotations, you can say started with at the rate symbol, and we use some of the classes with annotations. So you can run your test in arbitrary big thread pool. It's quite technical sentence, so let me make it simpler. So let's say you have more than 50 test cases, and now you want to run them in a specific order or based on a certain requirement. You want to run only set of tests. Then TestNG will provide you one easy way using testng.xml file so that you can select a specific set of test cases or a specific scenarios you can execute. It's related to the third point, easy and flexible test configuration. You don't have to write code for this. There's one XML file in this. Simply you need to modify that XML file, and that XML file is also you can generate using Eclipse. You don't have to start from the scratch. Eclipse will make your task easy. We will be integrating one TestNG plugin, and with that plugin you can generate that XML too. So I have already uploaded one video on data-driven testing using Selenium. So I use TestNG there itself. So using TestNG, you can create data-driven framework, and you can use this data provider annotation. Support for parameters if you want to run your test based on the parameters. So TestNG supports parameter feature. So this parameter feature will make your test cases or test suite very flexible. You can pass the parameter at runtime, so that based on the requirement you can pass the parameter and you don't have to modify your existing test. Easy way to execute test suite. So you have multiple classes to execute this test suite, or else you can directly right click and you can run the complete test suite. Yes, this is very important. It support multiple IDE. So I am using Eclipse as of now, but you can use NetBeans, you can use IntelliJ, you can use WebStorm, and grouping features. So you can group your test cases. Let's say you have four categories: smoke, regression, functional, non-functional, end-to-end. So you can group all the test cases and you can run them individually. And there's so many features, so I will be giving you one link in the description. So that will be TestNG official link, so you can go through it. But anyways, I will be covering in the future videos. So let's get started. I have this project created. Right now this project is completely blank. I have only one source folder. So let me show you how you can install TestNG if you have not in your Eclipse. So just go to this help section and just click on this Eclipse Marketplace. So Eclipse Marketplace is similar to Play Store, where you have all the existing plugins. So you can select which plugin you want and you can start using it. So you can see the five tabs: search, recent, popular, favorites, installed. So if I go to the installed one, I already have in my Eclipse, so it will be coming under installed. But for you, if you do not have, you just click on the search option and search for TestNG and hit enter. It will take some time to come up with the search results. So in my system, it's already installed, so I will be getting two options: uninstall and update. But in your case, you will get one install option. Just have to click on it and it will install that. You can see it's already installed, right? And if you want more info, you can click on more info and it will give you all the details. So my system is little bit slow. Yes, you can see now, if you click on more info, you can learn so much about TestNG. So as of now, once install, you can click on cancel. In your case, if you click on install, it will ask you to restart your Eclipse, and you have to restart your Eclipse. This is just additional detail which is coming from Eclipse. That's fine, you can close it. So now let's create our first test. So what you need to do, you need to just right click and create a package, and I will say first, or I will say TestNG tutorials. So this is the default package which I created. Now I will create a first class. So you can see you can create directly from here as well, but I will show you with Java. So I will say first TestNG script. So till now we have used this publish static void main, but this is the time we will ignore this publish static void main. We will write our own test cases, so that TestNG runner will run our test. So till now JVM was running our test, but today TestNG will run our test. So let me increase the font size. So, perspective show view, 1 minute. So in Mac they have some different settings, so I need to check. That's fine. So I will write my first test. So I will write here test1, and or maybe I can write login application. So you can see this is just a method which I created. So if you are completely new to Java, you can visit my previous tutorials where I have discussed what is method, how to create methods, method overloading. To work with TestNG, you have to simple write one @ symbol and just type test here. So when you type test, Eclipse will ask you what is this test. So now you can see right now it is giving one suggestion only for JUnit, because JUnit comes by default with Java project. But now we will click on this add TestNG library. So when you add TestNG library, this library will get added to your project, and if you expand this, you can see a couple of jars has been added. So most of the time you will be using this testng.jar file, and if you expand this as well, you will find so many packages. So we'll use some of them today, and once we move forward we will use almost all. So as of now, just yes, collapse this. Now you can see now it is still asking you which test you want to import. Now we have option of TestNG as well. So just click on TestNG, and you can see here one import statement appeared, and it is actually coming from this package, and this is the class. So test is a class, and you can see we are getting some default description as well. And you can see it's very old tool. Initially it started by Cedric in 2004, and we are using in 2017. That's fine. So this is our first test, and if you want to see from where this package is coming, so just check org.testng.annotation. So if you expand this and if you try to search for this package, it is coming from here. You can see org.testng.annotation, and if you see here yeah, so this is the class. So if somebody is asking, or if you get this question in interview, what is exactly this test? So test is nothing but a class in TestNG. So we are going to use that class to create test cases. Now, as of now, just for getting started, I will just write one hello world statement. And I will write, hey, this is my first test. Now, if you want to run this test, so you have multiple options. So in Java, we just do right click run as Java application. But since we are not using public static void main, now you will get this option TestNG test. And why this option is coming? Because we have added TestNG, right? So just right click on this, run as TestNG test. And now you will see the magic. So first of all, you're getting this console window. So in console window, you can see it is running one internal XML file, right? I will show you in just a few minutes. This is the hello world statement, or first test statement that we written, right? Hello, this is my first test. So this is the console window which we are getting in Java as well. And you can see now you have at least some status, like whether this test passed or failed. So login application is nothing but the test case name. So whatever method you have written, it will become your test case. And this is the status. So you can see there are two sections are coming. One is test section and one is default suite. So default suite will talk once we have multiple test cases. As of now, you can see here only one executed, and zero failure, zero script. Now if you see, you will get another section here. So you can see the one pass, zero failure, zero script, and this is the hierarchy which you need to follow. So as of now, you can just check this. TestNG tutorial is nothing but our package that we created. First TestNG script is our class, and this is your test cases. So as of now, only one test. So if you want to run multiple tests, you don't have to create a separate Java class. You can copy paste and you can create another test case. So after login, I can say select items. Here I will write login to application. As of now, I'm just writing this sysout statement, but once we start working with Selenium, we will write our actual code in this. And I will say item selected. And let's say I want to add one more test. Once items are selected, I want to check out So now if you right click and run as TestNG test, you will see it will run 3 test cases. So you can see checkout one, second is login application, and the third one is select items. I know you must be wondering why it is running in random order, right? Because previously we have given login, then select item, then checkout, but it is running in different order. First it is running checkout and then login application and select item. So this is interview question. If you do not mention the order or if you do not specify the orders, by default TestNG will run based on the alphabetic order, right? So you can see C comes first, so it is executing checkout first, then L comes, so it is running login application, and finally it's running select items. So TestNG have this feature. If we want to run them in a specific order, we can assign a priority that I will show you. But as of now, you can see in just one Java class, we have created 3 test cases and all are running individually. Now just come back to this console window and you can see here all 3 tests passed. Here the count is added, but we have one more information here. So you can see when it runs one TestNG customize suite.xml file. So it runs internally, so you don't have to modify this, but just for your information, and you might get this question in interviews as well. So let's open this XML file so that we'll get to know what exactly is executed by TestNG. So when I opened that XML file, if you're working with Windows, you can just open through run command, or you can go to that particular location. So this is my XML file which is internally executed by TestNG. Let me increase the font size. So you can see this is the default one. You don't have to worry about this. The main thing starts from here. Right now it is creating one XML file. This XML file is auto generated, and you can see here we have some virtual tags. So we have one sweet tag. So sweet tag is started and ended here. So whatever name you will write here, it will appear on the screen. So as of now, we have not given any sweet name. So by default, TestNG will assign default sweet. So that is the reason if you go back to this, you will get default sweet, right? Because it is internally assigned by TestNG. So suite is just a tag, but actual test suite starts from here. So your again test suite is default test. So you can see default test is coming, and rest already we have decided. So this is one internal XML which is created by TestNG. Soon we will create our own XML. So you will see we will give very meaningful name for our test suite, so that whenever we go back we can understand which kind of test suite we have created and which kind of test cases we have. So this is just additional, it's of no use as of now, but in case if you're getting this question in interviews, you can reply easily. Right, so now we have 3 test cases, all are running individually, but we have seen all are running in different order. But if I have to give a specific sequence, I can add priority here, priority equal to 1. So less priority will get executed first. So if I say priority 1, this will execute it first, and if I give priority 2, this will get executed, and if I give priority 3, this will get executed. So if you want to check, just right click and run as TestNG test, and now you can see all are running based on our requirement, right? So now it's running login first, then select item, and then checkout. Now if I go back to console window, I cannot understand what exactly this test case does, right? Login application, select item, checkout. So if you want to add some description to your test, like what exactly this test case does, so you can add description as well. You can see here, if you add description, this string will appear in the HTML report and it will also appear on the standard output. Let me show you, it's very important feature which I use in my framework. So in the description I will say this test case will verify login functionality. Same thing I will do here. I will just write the description equal to this test case will add certain items in basket, and the last one I will add one more description like this test case will perform checkout operation. So now we have all the three test cases. Now every test case has some description, so when you run your test you can understand easily what exactly this test case does. So let's wait for the complete execution. So you can see after every test now you have at least some description, like this test case will verify the login, this test case will add certain items, and so on. So this is very important because whenever you send the report to the client or your team or your manager, at least they can understand what exactly this test case is doing. This all the features you will not get in if you start working with plain Java code, so better to use some framework. Now the very important part, if you simply right click and click on refresh, you will see a separate folder created. So this folder generated automatically by TestNG. So you can see we have multiple folders here and some HTML files. So let me show you the first one, email report.html file. As the name you can understand, it's a report which you can send as an email. So it's coming in Eclipse. Let me show you in right. So you can see there are so many tests are coming. So as of now you can see the complete test suite name is default test because by default it is assigned by TestNG. Total number of test cases passed 3, skip 0, failed 0. Total time is 59 milliseconds. It's coming in milliseconds because we are just writing system.out.println. But when you start writing your actual test, you will get to know like each test is taking some time. So login is taking 30 seconds or checkout is taking 15 seconds and so on. So these are the tests, and you can see if you click on checkout, right now all are coming here only. But if you have multiple test cases, if you click on a specific test, it will show you the complete information. You can see two more options are coming, groups. So groups, I love the group features because group will add more value to your test suite. So you can create multiple groups and you can run groups as well. So group part we'll see later. As of now, this is our first report. And if I go back, you can see the folder name is default suite, and this default suite is coming just because in XML the default suite was mentioned, right? And this is your another HTML report, default test.html. It's opening in different editor. Let me open in browser. So you can see every time you run your test, it will create 3 different kind of reports. So this is type 2. So it's coming in a different format. So let's say if you have 5 test suites, you will get 5 type of report in this format. Email report will be the combined one. But if you want a report is based on the specific test suite, you will use this kind of report. So you can see the same thing, number of pass, failed, skipped, started on, total time. Groups are empty as of now because we have not added any group. And this is the description which you have added. So now if you send this report, they can easily check what exactly this test case is, right? So this is very important feature which I use, so I will also recommend you to use this. And the last but not the least, this is your index.html. This is little bit technical, so we will be using this for our understanding, not for the reporting purpose. So if you open this in a browser, so you can see this is the XML file which is internally generated and executed by TestNG, which I showed just now. So default test suite was default suite, and test was default test, and rest is your classes. So one test class, 0 groups, total time is this. As of now, reporter output is null because we have not added any reporter. This is a chronicle view, and the last one is this: checkout, login application, and select item. So if you don't want to add any additional kind of report, you can use this report. Anyways, I use extend report for my project because extend report gives me so much flexibility to add screenshots as well. Which somehow we need to add so much line of code for TestNG, but in extend report we have just one method and we can attach reports and logs as well. So I guess I had covered all the points which I was supposed to cover today. So let me check. TestNG advantages: installation, create first script, create multiple tests, checking auto-generated XML, checking reports, and adding details to your test. So we have also added one more point here: how to run based on the priority. Now I have one very interesting and interview question as well. What if I give priority as -3? Will it work? So question will come in this way: does TestNG support negative priorities? If yes, then what will be the output? So yes, TestNG supports negative priorities as well. So if you give -3, so -3 is less than 1. So checkout will execute first. So if you run your test now, since -3 is lower, so first checkout will run and then it will start login and select item. So you can see it started with checkout feature now. Now the final words. The good thing about TestNG is, let's say if you have multiple test cases, if one of the test is failing, it will not stop the other test cases. Let me show you. Let's say this login has been failed. So there's one assert class in TestNG. So assert comes with different packages. So you select this one and assert equals. So assert we will use again when we have to compare actual versus expected. So if I say actual is 12 but I'm expecting 13, so definitely this will fail, right? So this test case will fail, but TestNG will continue with rest 2 test cases. So if you are completely unaware of assert, I have 2 videos on assert: what is soft assert, hard assert, how to use them. But as of now, forcefully I am failing this test. So assert is a class in TestNG. Assert equals is a static method which will compare the actual versus expected. So actual was 12, I'm expecting 13. So definitely this test case will fail. But it will not stop the test here. It will continue with the rest of the test cases. So you can see test failed. So one failed is this, and you will get this very meaningful message: expected was 13 but found 12. Select item pass, checked, checkout pass. And if you refresh your project, okay, so now you can see again a new report has been generated. So if I open with web browser, you can see it's coming in dark red color. So TestNG gives you so much flexibility. Even you can change this complete layout. You can change into different colors. So since this test case failed, you can see expected was 13 but found 12, but rest two test cases are working fine. Okay, this is what I have for this video. In future videos, I will show you so many features of TestNG that you will fall in love with TestNG. We'll create groups, we'll create multiple test suite, we will give the dependencies. So in this scenario, you can see ideally if my login is getting failed, it should not execute the rest two test cases, because these two test cases are dependent on the first one, right? So how we can create this kind of relationship in the test cases, like if one test case is getting failed, do not execute the rest of the test cases. In other words, you can consider if my web page itself is not loading, then it does not make any sense to run all the tests, right? So we'll create that kind of scenarios in the future videos. So that's all I have for this video. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me. And thank you so much. I will be publishing some more video on REST API using REST Assured. So in future videos, you can expect more on API testing as well. So thank you so much. If you have any doubt, just feel free to contact me. If you like this video, hit the like button below, or you can comment, and please pass on this channel with your friends. Thank you so much.